This is the house, it's an old Victorian property that we bought around 10 years ago. And it hadn't been sort of refurbished for probably a few decades before that. And we always knew it was a project, but then the house has been tenanted for the last few years. And we wanted to really get it back into shape so we could come back here and it would be an ideal family home for us and our 3 kids, Harry kids.
So I think we had a few. The first one was really about cost, to make sure that we had a company that we could work with which was competitive but also delivered quality work. And then we really wanted, we live overseas, so while the project was being built, we really wanted to make sure that it was a real partnership so that the team that we worked with we could trust to get on with the job. Because we were overseas, we couldn't come in all the time to check on it, obviously. So that was really important, that we had trust and a great partnership. So the people were really important to us as well as that. So it was the cost and the people. I think that really important, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think trust was key. And also, we needed someone with sort of eyes and feet on the ground who could give us advice as we were going on what would they recommend based on decades of experience versus us who was doing our first project. And really with Colin and the team, we were able to get through all that.
Yeah, and we spoke to a lot of friends who've done renovations recently. And I think one of the great things about working with Colin and Ryan and the team was just the network of contacts they have with suppliers. So when you're doing the full refurb, like we are, literally from basement to the top floor, when we think through things like Crittall doors, bifolding doors, acquiring all sorts of different materials, to have the contacts and the network to get those materials and pieces in, to navigate a really complex supply chain at the moment, I think for us has been hugely helpful because we had a hard stop in terms of the finish. And obviously the team were able to not only achieve that, but they actually managed to bring it forward. So I think having a building company that's this established with such a great network of contacts has been hugely advantageous to us. We spoke to a lot of companies. We really did a proper due diligence to make sure that we had, this is a huge project that we were undertaking, and so we spoke to a lot of building companies. And I think what stood out for us was just the kind of honesty and transparency and authenticity that Colin had with us. He was very clear about what wasn't possible and what was. He was realistic about all of the costs, and making sure that when we were looking at that quote and that estimate, that there wasn't anything hidden in there that we wouldn't expect. So there were no nasty surprises as we went through that. And I think, when we had that initial call, and again, as I said, we were overseas, we were doing all of this virtually, was just the enthusiasm that Colin had for projects. And I think that's again testament to the team to be doing this for so long and still to have so much passion and energy around wanting to do a renovation like we did. And I think that came across to us. And a willingness to want to do it. So, if there were certain things that we weren't too sure about, it was never a problem. Colin said, no, that's fine, we can look at doing it like this or that. So, really when it came down to it, I think it was, as I said before, it's the people that made us feel completely comfortable with the decision that we would take.
Yes, it absolutely did, and beyond, I think. There's one thing which is getting an architectural design, but actually bringing it to life requires a lot more subtlety than that. And I think Colin and the team were able to both deliver, the higher hopes and aspirations that we have for that house, and really sort of surpass them. I think, if we think about the process, it's all been very smooth throughout. We've only actually been able to visit the house about 2 or 3 times over the course of the 9-month build. But despite that, we felt as though we were sort of up to speed and aware of the status on a day-to-day basis, really. And that was only possible through the communications which Colin, Ryan and the rest of the team had with us. I think the other great testament to their work has been that it has been a busy time. It's been a complex time for building companies, I'm sure. but the prices which were originally quoted and the costs never changed from what was agreed almost 9 months ago, apart from when we wanted to increase the scope and wanted to evolve the scope throughout the project, which we did on numerous different things. And again, that was always met with, yes, that's possible, rather than we're not able to do it.
Yeah, there was real flexibility, I think, in terms of the team. Again, like I said, sticking to the time, but adding all of those different elements that we put in there. As Dan said, it was never a problem, and I think that really allowed us just to make sure that it was, as we progressed on the build, if there were certain things that we wanted to change to just make it that bit more, I won't say spectacular. Well, I mean, I think it's way beyond anything that we thought. I mean, I'm not sure how much you can see behind us, but it is without sounding like we're showing off our own house, it is a beautiful, beautiful house, and it's it is just done to perfection. And even now, the teams are going around making sure that there's no kind of snagging issues in the house. So it feels to me like the team take as much pride in the house as we do. So it's far beyond what we thought, and they really managed to bring what we had in mind to life, and I think that in itself is a skill.
Yeah, I agree. We had hopes for this house 10 years ago when we bought it. We never got around to the work for 9 of those years, but then what we've ended up now is sort of way beyond what we hoped for. And again, I think that comes down to the design, but so much of it comes down to the quality of the work that the wider building team has done. And even over the last 3 weeks where this has been closing out, we've met many people from BBS who have been carpenters or snaggers or decorators or painters or people helping outside, and everyone has had the same level of professionalism and the same level of responsibility, and it's just been a pleasure to have them around the house. So we couldn't be happy with the house, and we couldn't be happier with the service that we got from BBS.
I think just the fact now that it is truly a family home that can, the way that it's designed and been built by your team, we have a 6-year-old, we've got some teenagers, every kind of aspect of the house accommodates our family. It's a space for entertaining, this is a great area, we have a snug area, the children all have their bedrooms. So it just feels to us now like it's properly a home that we and the family can be very happy with for years to come. Without question. In fact, only yesterday I was out with some friends and I was singing the praises of the team to one of my friends who's looking for a renovation. So absolutely, I mean, as we've said, it is more than just the work, it is the team, and every single one of the members of your team that stepped foot in this door have been respectful and professional and exceptional in the work that they do. So I was actually very impressed. I hadn't understood the scale of the team that you had. So that in itself is amazing, because they're all under Bradley and Building Services, and and even the fact that we were saying that they come in the kind of branded t-shirts, that to me speaks volumes about the kind of professional and the teamwork between them all. They have great banter, helping each other out and so forth. So without question, we recommend, and we already are.
Yeah. And I think we've said to each other, because of the complications of being away while this build has been underway, we don't think this would have been the house it is, or the process it is, if we hadn't met BBS and Colin and the team. They really made the huge difference in terms of ensuring that we were able to get to this outcome, and made it a much smoother process for us throughout this complicated and sometimes worrying process. So we're very, very grateful to the team and strongly recommend it to us.
I think anyone that's watching this video that is considering partnering with you, I think you cannot go wrong if you go with you guys. It's been the best decision that we made. Huge thank you to you, Colin, and the team. I know you've gone above and beyond on many different aspects of this, and I hope that we haven't been too demanding as clients, but it's been, honestly, we were just saying we really, we've had a great WhatsApp group going where we've been kind of constantly chatting on that. We were like, we'll miss the chat on the WhatsApp group, and so I think it's just huge thanks to you.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and we're very fortunate and proud to have had you sort of leading the way on that over the last 9 years. So thank you.